So yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Being about summoning demons. I mean, some of the monsters are demons. Summon Skull's a demon. It's not all about that, but sure. It's... Alrighty, guys. I know that normally I wait several months before we do Anime Exposed again, but I think it's probably impossible for me to avoid going and doing it again in several months. I want to do it right now. And because I want to do it right now, I will give the people what they want. If we are going to exist and cringe together, we are going to cringe together properly. In the proper attire, with the proper way to suffer through this content. But before we get into any of that, before we get into Anime Exposed tackling one of my favorite childhood shows of all time, which is bound to be an event, let's talk about the fan art section. This one is from Mathematical Cabbage, Holiday Card, a lovely cat girl Santa and his reindeer with their red noses. There are so many fetishes at play in this picture alone. So many. So many. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one. Is that a red nose, or I'm pretty sure those are just ball gag. The next one we have is from Sylvia Silica, and there is no context given, but it looks like a regular Suris in a very different type of attire. I believe Sylvia is actually in the chat as well. Hello, Sylvia. Thank you for the fan art. I like the outfit. It is very, very nice. It reminds me of some outfits I remember from Chrono Trigger. Let's go ahead and go into the next and last one from Mathematical Cabbage. Again, a real garf of a Suris. This Suris hates Mondays and loves lasagna. As always, everybody, thank you all for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so is to drop it in the fan art section of the Discord. With that all said, if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do so. Hit the like button if you haven't already, and let's get in. I can't wait. So the anime has been exposed. Yes, we need to go ahead and get that background music turned off so we can listen to the epic soundtrack of Anime Exposed.
No demons are real. So to have a whole anime like Yu-Gi-Oh! That centers around the idea of summoning demons to assist you is downright frightening.
Jaden Yuki, the duelist who they say can speak with the spirits.
I see my reputation precedes me. So he's the one behind all of this destruction.
So yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Being about summoning demons. I mean, some of the monsters are demons. Summon Skull's a demon. It's not all about that, but sure. It's, for those who don't know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is about a children's trading card game. In the original show, it was made by a person named Maximilian Pegasus, but one of the plot twists of the show was that actually the game was based on an ancient Egyptian sorcerer's art where they would do battle with real monsters they had imprisoned in clay tablets. And the card game that he created was based originally just off of the artwork of that, but apparently bringing the artwork to life in a trading card game with somewhat similar effects and rules as the Sorcerer's Magic game somehow set off a chain of events where the actual magic that was involved in that centuries-old art came to life. It's more about an ancient culture clashing with a modern one, and a 5,000 in the American dub, a 3,000 in the Japanese dub, Egyptian pharaoh trying to come to terms with the fact that he lives in reality. Yes, what I'm telling you is Yu-Gi-Oh! Was an isekai all along. Yami Yugi got transported into our world. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is an isekai, and Yami is the protagonist. I have ruined all of Yu-Gi-Oh! For you. Congratulations! Let's keep going.
I'd say so, Banner, and it's pretty impressive, too. I mean, wow.
This anime brings sorcery from something you just simply observe to practicing it in real life.
I summon the almighty Swiper, the Sky Dragon!
So they're ignoring the fact that in the context of the show, monsters don't actually come out of the cards. They are just holograms. There are points in time where the monsters are real, and that is when a shadow game is happening. But that is only very specific scenarios. The actual plot of the show is the monsters aren't real. They're just based off of monsters that at one point were real. But, details. So Basilica, thank you for redeeming your points for an Ara. And Javred, thank you for redeeming your points for an Owl. Another neat detail about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that some of the monsters technically exist in a spirit world. The first instance that we see that is in, if memory serves, in the filler arc of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where they fight Darts and the ancient Atlantis brand of magic that he utilizes. And then in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, the spirit world becomes a more central plot point as opposed to the plot point of a filler arc. What I'm saying is Jaden's entire existence is based off of filler. And that is just precious. His head still looks like a Karibo.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a series about demons manifesting through spell cards.
What? What? No. Spell cards are a type of card that exists in Yu-Gi-Oh! Along with monster cards and trap cards. Creatures come from monster cards, not spell cards. It's very rare that a spell card summons a monster. Research the game you're criticizing before you say shit.
Yeah, okay, this is starting to sound a little creepy.
Have you noticed that a lot of these stories have magic and sorcery?
That's right. And it was such an offense to God. He told Moses in Exodus 22:18, "You shall not permit a sorceress to live."
Right. Are you advocating for killing witches? Little Light Studios, please answer me. The timestamp is whatever it is right now. Go ahead and respond to this video at that timestamp and let me know. Do you think witches should be killed? Your Bible says they should. Do you think that? Which one is it, Little Light Studios? Do you advocate for murder on behalf of your God? Or do you advocate for sanity and stopping doing literally all of this horse shit? Are these guys fundies? Yes, they hang out with Kent Hovind, who, is responsible for, allegedly, actual drownings.
It was punishable by death because of its infectiousness.
Yeah, using occult practices or sorcery is something that is strictly warned against in the Bible.
Maybe if you use some occult practices or sorcery, you could get a bunch of microphones that sounded the same and had similar quality. Just maybe.
It says in Leviticus 19:31, "Do not turn to mediums or necromancers. Do not seek them out, and so make yourselves unclean by them. I am the Lord your God."
Long ago, when the pyramids were still young, Egyptian kings played a game of great and terrible power.
Yep.
But these shadow games erupted into a war that threatened to destroy the entire world, until a brave and powerful pharaoh locked the magic away, imprisoning it within the mystical Millennium items. Now, 5,000 years later, a boy named Yugi unlocks the secret of the Millennium puzzle. He is...
I mean, we're just watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Now. We're just watching the opening of Yu-Gi-Oh! Now. No context, just the opening of Yu-Gi-Oh! No, who cares about copyright, I guess?
Infused with ancient magical energies, for destiny has chosen him to defend the world from the return of the Shadow Games, just as the brave pharaoh did 5,000 years ago.
So he invokes a demon spirit, which makes his personality that of a gambler.
Demon spirit? No. No, Yami Yugi's just a dead guy. Atem is just a dead guy. Yeah, spoiler alert, his name's Atem. Like that's it. That's the plot of Yu-Gi-Oh! His name's Atem. Anyway, no, point is, Atem's not a demon. Atem's a person. He's a person who died 3,000 years ago in the original Japanese, 5,000 years ago in the dub. He died, and his spirit got locked in a Millennium item. He is not the only one who had his spirit locked in a Millennium item. The spirit of Bakura the Thief was locked in a Millennium item as well. Yami Yugi's a lich. You destroy the Millennium Puzzle, you kill Yami Yugi. You destroy the Millennium Ring, you kill Bakura. There you go. Everybody is a lich. Everyone. But no, seriously. Trying to argue that he's a demon is kind of... It ignores the actual, plot of the show.
From that moment onwards, whenever Yugi and his friends are threatened by those with darkness in their hearts, this demonic spirit shows himself and challenges them to dangerous shadow games.
Demonic spirit. Again, he's just a dead guy. He lived a normal dude. He died a normal dude. Orca says, I remember the old Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime and manga, the one where a Tem is more a spirit of vengeance and justice. Yeah, we also call that the Jigsaw series.
Games of darkness, which reveal the true nature of someone's heart. The losers of these contests are often subjected to a dark punishment called the penalty game. Whether it be cards, dice, or role-playing board games, he will take on challenges from anyone, anywhere. As the series progresses, Yugi and his friends learn that the person inside of this puzzle is actually a spirit of the nameless pharaoh from ancient Egyptian times.
Yeah, named a Tem. Anyway.
As Yugi and his companions attempt to help the pharaoh regain his memories, they find themselves going through many trials as they wager their lives, facing off gamers that wield the mysterious Millennium items and the dark powers of the shadow games. I
love how, to elicit their point of gamers using dark Millennium items, they show Seto Kaiba, famous wielder of no Millennium items for the majority of the show. Guy whose family was made to be victim of several Millennium items multiple times. Seto Kaiba. Not actually a Millennium item holder. He just kind of has money.
So this is enticing the viewer into direct communication with demons?
How? How is it doing that? How is Yu-Gi-Oh! Doing that? How? How are you enticing the viewer? Please. Guy whose artwork looks eerily similar to mine. Trust me, mine came first. Don't ask Pernia who made this. Even though they would be the person to ask about it. Don't do that. No. How? How in the hell? How is this a thing? How is it enticing people to summon demons? It's a card game. People play trading cards. That's it. What?
Very.
As of 2018, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is one of the highest grossing media franchises of all time.
How has Toy Story grossed more than Yu-Gi-Oh? How has Toy Story grossed more than Yu-Gi-Oh? That's so weird. Anyways.
The commercial for the real-life playing cards are not shy to popularize the summoning of these demons.
Yeah, because in the show, you play monsters on the board, and they exist to help you within the context of the game. It's not like, they aren't shy about the fact that you're summoning demons. No, it's literally, it's just a game mechanic. Let me see.
Check this out.
Not bad.
Why does the Stardust Dragon have cards levitating around him? And why are you not now summoning your Dark Magician to attack the opponent's life points for game?
Now watch this.
Why are you thumping your cards so much? Why did you just summon Thor, Loki, and Odin? It's just a Stardust Dragon. You don't need to summon Thor, Loki, and Odin. Also, I think it's very funny. They say, hey, they're summoning demons. That's what these kids are doing. They're summoning demons. And you show them summoning a dragon, not a demon, and 3 Norse gods. Also not demons. Also, pretty terrible deck. Not a good deck.
Whoa.
Powers are summoned, battles are fought. To build a deck this powerful would take a very long time. Or not.
Now you can activate your strongest magic cards and summon your most powerful monsters.
This is straight up tarot cards for kids.
What? What? No, it's not tarot. Tarot is about reading fortunes and community. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is about It's poker and chess having a baby. That's what Yu-Gi-Oh is. It's poker and chess having a baby. How is it tarot? Are you just saying, like, demonic card games are all tarot? Is that what you're doing?
Teaches them how to summon demons. That's scary.
Yeah, and because it's packaged in a kid's game, most people won't even see the significance of invoking the spirits.
Because they're not invoking spirits. They're literally just playing a card game. You are looking into this so hard. You are so desperate to find your enemy in this game.
Breaking news, we have this just into the newsroom. Monsters are destroying the city. Police are telling you to keep your doors and windows locked, and please keep your children inside.
So,
I wish I was those kids growing up. Fucking monsters attacking the city and the kids are coming to save the city. Just like, aha, I'm going to go ahead and summon my summon skull. I'm going to save the city with it. That's actually cool. Wait, Yu-Gi-Oh cards are Pokeballs now? Yeah, apparently.
let me get this straight. That pretty much means that the only way to battle with demons is to invoke other demons who are supposedly more powerful?
I don't know how many ways I can explain to you that there are types of monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! That are demons. There are types of monsters that are not. And your desperate attempt to make everything you don't like a demon is laughable. Demonacy scissoring, y'all are just had it. Actually study and maybe even play the actual game you're talking about before you talk about the actual game, please. Crow, thank you very much for redeeming your points for an ada. You fucking... No, you're not the degenerate. Little Light Studios are the degenerates. You're not that bad.
And it's not just kids that are into the show. Even adults get hooked.
Yeah, because the game used to be good. Ninja Kawasataki, thank you very much for redeeming your points for an owl.
There are many tournaments with players of all ages all...
I like how we saw the voice actor for Kaiba, whose name I can't remember off the top of my head. We saw Dan Green, the voice actor for Yugi, and then we saw that one guy from Team APS. And just, you know, that was great. I liked seeing all of them. I like those people. They're all pretty cool. No mention about them, though.
Over the world who are obsessed with this game.
And they aren't even shy to let you know exactly which demons they are invoking either.
Why would... Yes, they want to tell you about the cards in their decks. They're happy about the cards in their decks. Twilord says, do you want these people to show up at your locals and preach at you during a duel? Twilord, I have had the experience of being at a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament while a youth minister sat camped at one of the unoccupied tables with a Bible in hand, waiting for passerby to ask him what he was doing there so that he could minister. And he could say, I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh like you. I used to be like you. And then I found Christ. And if you don't believe me, I remember specifically my friend Marcus sat at that table with me as well. And it was a very funny time for both of us. That was a thing that happened more than once at the tournaments in Home Field in Pensacola, Florida. If you went to Home Field, Greg's shop in Pensacola, Florida, back when it was open, and you remember the minister, I can literally... Room 1 had all of the gaming merchandise. Room 2, which was next to like a motorcycle shop type of thing, had all the card game tables and the video games, the actual like TVs to play video games on. I remember it was very specifically, if you walked into room 2, on the right-hand side, there was one long table, and on the left-hand side, there were all the other tables for the tournaments. The right-hand side long table is where the minister dude sat. If I've just unlocked a memory for anybody who went to the same card shop I did, have fun remembering that that was a thing that happened.
You've been talking about winning my Egyptian god card this entire duel. Now it's time for you to experience its power! Obelisk the Tormentor, arise and wreak your ultimate revenge!
Baphomet, Leviathan, and Ra, which is the Egyptian sun god.
That's not Baphomet, that's Baphomet. That's Baphomet. It literally says it in the subtitles. Literally says it in there. But okay. I like how they did say Slifer's name as Osiris. Cool. They did at least know that. So you know that gods and demons aren't the same thing, right? If they're summoning cards based off of Egyptian gods, they are necessarily not summoning demons. Like those categorically different from one another.
Powers from deep within, so that together we may win. Appear in this shadow game as I call your name. Winged Dragon of Ra! There it is! Behold my great beast!
This thing is full of Egyptian imagery.
Yeah! Did you know that Egypt is a culture separate from America? Did you know that? Did you know they existed? Wow!
My mighty Egyptian god card is here at last!
Look, Yu-Gi-Oh! Even wears an all-seeing eye around his neck.
Because it is a bit of Egyptian imagery. There's also an Ankh that, yes, the show based off of a fictional version of ancient Egypt has imagery you would commonly associate with a fictional version of ancient Egypt. What a strange world we live in.
There are demonic pentagrams as well as the Star of Sapphire. And
that's not a pentagram. That's a hexagram. That's the Seal of Orichalcos. Also, there technically are pentagrams in Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Magician Girl actually used to have a pentagram on her necklace until it was removed by American censors. They're technically correct about that one.
His forehead. This symbol was made famous by Aleister Crowley's sex magic book and is closely associated with the Kabbalah Tree of Life.
Yeah, and you know that it's the villains who used that, right? It's the villains who used that. The only time Yugi used it was when he was literally seduced into using it, and it led to the annihilation of Yugi. Yami Yugi used it, and Yugi took the brunt of the sacrifice afterwards. Just watch Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a good show. But yeah, no. I'm sorry, but the villains using the Seal of Orichalcos doesn't fetter me. The villains did a bad thing. Oh no.
The spell cards are used to summon the most evil demons, even coming out of pentagrams on the ground.
Okay, you know that... Okay, so in this scenario here, this is a scene with the Seal of Orichalcos. This scenario here is a different scene. What's the scenario here?
At one point, Yu-Gi-Oh! Summons the Great Red Dragon by
Yu-Gi-Oh?
sacrificing some demons.
Yeah. At one point, he summons the Great Red Dragon by sacrificing some demons. You mean he summons Slifer, the Sky Dragon, and releasing or sacrificing or sending to the graveyard creatures you have on the board is a game mechanic in Yu-Gi-Oh! And therefore, getting rid of your weaker creatures to summon bigger ones is what you would naturally expect, because it's the game mechanic.
I sacrifice my Jack's Knight, my Queen's Knight, and my King's Knight in order to summon Slifer, the Sky Dragon!
Yep.
Reveal yourself, my all-powerful beast!
Yep, and there's the copyright cuck. There's the copyright cuck, naturally. Oh, Jesus.
During the last episode, Yu-Gi-Oh!, who was possessed...
Who the fuck is Yu-Gi-Oh!? That's the name of the show, not the actual character.
...by the spirit of Pharaoh is walking off into the light. We see one of the characters, ironically with a cross around her neck, crying that he is leaving.
Yeah. Taya can be Christian and still be sad that her friend is leaving. Who cares?
Don't go!
So that's how it ends, huh? Nice. You think you can just show up and change everybody's life and then just leave?
It's stated that he is not actually leaving them because he will always live on with them in their hearts.
Yeah, like any character death ever. Yeah, guys, the plot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is Yami-Yugi's trying to die. Atem is trying to die. As soon as he learns about his past, he goes and does the thing to get himself killed. So that he can actually rest in peace. Because he's been alive in one state or another for 5,000 years, and he's just tired.
Because everything you've given us stays right here in our hearts.
Right.
When you read the stories of the Old Testament, you constantly see God's people being tripped up because of false gods. It's no different for us today. We are surrounded with idolatry that is just as damaging to us as it was for the people of God back then.
Just saying? Just saying would. I'm just saying it right now for personal reasons, because I happen to really, really like Dark Magician Girl. And this is the character Dark Magician Girl's based off of in the story. And the answer is would back then, and because of the Dark Magician Girl, would now. Yes.
If you thought summoning demons is shocking, Inuyasha...
Oh my god. That was it? That was all the Yu-Gi-Oh part? Is it all Inuyasha from here? Is it all Inuyasha? Yep, it's all Inuyasha from here. I didn't realize we were done with Yu-Gi-Oh! I guess we're going to Inuyasha next. God, I'm going to have to rewatch the whole series before I get to do the next episode of Anime Exposed. Sorry, guys. I have to go watch a show that never fucking ended properly because they could never figure out a way to kill Naraku. Thanks, Rumika Takahashi. You made one of my favorite childhood animes, and then you made that. I'm sorry, I was always more of a Ranma guy, but it's fine. I guess we're done with Yu-Gi-Oh! Their points are done whether they go through the entire canon of Yu-Gi-Oh! Or if they go through just little bits of it. Aside from getting literally everything about the lore wrong, getting everything about the game mechanics wrong, and literally trying desperately to create a world where everything around them is demonic and doesn't actually have any bearing on reality, because if your enemy is everywhere, necessarily your enemy is nowhere. This is once again a moment where I have to ask the people at Little Light Studios, do you drink the bleach you spill out for us to sniff? Do you drink the Kool-Aid that you prepared for your audience? Do you believe the shit you say? Because the shit you say leads me to believe that every one of y'all needs some form of therapy. Are the evil demons you're summoning from trading cards in the room with us right now? Or can you accept that sometimes the world of fiction and make-believe exists solely within the world of fiction and make-believe, and it doesn't bleed out past that? I don't know if you can accept that, because y'all have such a hard time delineating between reality and make-believe that people like me have to sit here and just watch you freak out about nothing. Oh, but don't worry. When we're done with Anime Exposed, they have another movie we're going to get into that I think will be just as bad. But we've got, I don't know, 3 more years of Anime Exposed before we can get to that. Sorry, everybody. Anyway, as always, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. And insert a video tagline here.